Okay, so I've done this as a separate video. That was book 2 we've just finished, and now I'm going to read book 3, The Henry Adventures, book 3. We've already read book 1, which I plopped in my bag somewhere. That was book 1. Book 1 was Henry Goes to London. And book 2 was Henry Returns the Diamond. And now book 3 is gonna be Henry Saves the Day. There we go. There's the start. Look, it looks like they're back at St. Chad's School, doesn't it? We learned from book 1 that Henry works at St. Chad's School. Oh, you can't see that, can you, because of the lighting? Let's see if I can change it. There we go. Henry was at his home in St. Chad's School after placing the Queen's diamond back in her crown. He had returned with something very special, which was the name Sir Henry, given to him by the Queen herself. During their lesson, Mrs. Millfield told the class all about Henry and how the Queen had rewarded him with his new title. Henry listened carefully and felt very proud to hear the children being told how good it was to help others as much as you can, just as Henry had helped the Queen. At that moment, the postman arrived with a letter from London, which was addressed to Henry in Hetty's writing. Sir Henry, St. Chad's School, and that just says Ursut. Ursut. I can't remember if we learned where St. Chad's was the other day. Maybe in book 1. Look! I just noticed that little teddy bear is reading book 1. How cool is that? And on the chalkboard it says, where could you use your talents to help others? Oh. Here we go. Henry had met Henrietta, or Hetty, as he called her, at vacuum cleaner school, where they had become great friends and had the best of times together. When they had finished school, Hetty had moved to London to become the Royal Vacuum Cleaner. Wow! The two friends had always kept in touch and looked forward to hearing from each other. However, this time when a letter arrived for Henry, there was a surprise in store for him. Hello, Sir Henry. It was good to see you and your friends at the Queen's Garden party. It's very busy here at the palace, and I'm completely rushed off my wheels. Would you be able to come back to London to help clean at some of the royal events? Her Majesty has so many special days out to attend. I was hoping you could find the time to help me. Love, Hetty. Henry's smile grew. He would love to help Hetty and the Queen. Henry knew the school holidays were about to start, so he could journey to London very soon. And that's that page in case you didn't see it. As soon as the school holidays started, Henry said goodbye to all his friends and headed for the palace. As he made his way through the grand gates, Henry spotted a large door which swung open. Out stepped a familiar face. "Sir Henry," cheered Mr. Does-a-lot. "How wonderful to see you! Do come in." Wow, look at that! Ooh, those cakes look delicious! And scones! Who doesn't love scones? Henry was led into a magnificent drawing room and to a huge table where Hetty was sitting. "Henry, how great you've made it! You're going to have so much fun cleaning at each event for the royal family. You'll make them fit for a queen," giggled Hetty. Henry couldn't wait to get started. Not only would he be cleaning the royal boxes, but maybe he would catch a glimpse of the events too. How exciting! Oh, sorry, Hetty got stuck behind the steering wheel. Ooh, hey, who's that in the corner? It's James. The first event was the royal ballet. Henry cleaned until the royal box shone, but before Henry could be congratulated on his splendid job, the stage manager burst through the doors in panic. "The ballet is about to begin and our head dancer has broken his leg. The show must go on." "But how?" I was just posing like the stage manager. "Can I help?" Henry asked, remembering the school lesson. "I can spin around like a ballet dancer." The manager was delighted with the idea of a pirouetting vacuum cleaner. Henry felt a bit nervous, but he really wanted to help. Look, there he is. Henry danced and spun for the entire performance. The audience had never seen a dancing vacuum cleaner before. At the end of the show, everyone stood and applauded, with Henry making 5 curtain calls. The troupe thanked Henry and told him he was so good he could join them again at any time. Henry had saved the day. The second event was a tennis match at Wimbledon Court. Oh, look, who's that? Is that George? No, it's Charles. Charles. Henry vacuumed until the royal carpet sparkled. But before Mr. Does-a-lot could congratulate him, a tennis official came over looking very upset. "The tennis match is about to start and we haven't got enough ball boys. The court will be overrun with tennis balls. What will we do?" What will we do? "Can I help?" Henry asked, remembering the school lesson once again. "I have a long hose which can catch a ball." The official was overjoyed with the idea of vacuuming up the balls. Henry was nervous, but he would try his very best. Henry wheeled out onto the court. At first, everybody was surprised, but then they all clapped. Henry knew he must do a good job. Henry caught every ball that came his way, wheeling here and there. It was quite exhausting, but when the match was over, he was given a standing ovation. Henry had saved the day again. Now, who is that? That one's George. That's George. Here we go. The third event was the proms. Henry cleaned until the royal box gleamed. But yet again there was a problem. A trumpet player rushed in and cried, "The orchestra is about to begin, and our conductor has lost his baton. He won't go on stage." "Can I help?" Henry asked, again remembering the school lesson. "The orchestra would be able to see me wave my hose." The trumpeter was overjoyed with the idea of a musical vacuum. Yet again, Henry felt a little bit nervous, but he really wanted to help. There he is, at the front of the orchestra, waving his hose so that everyone can keep time. When all the orchestra were ready, Henry entered and approached the conductor's rostrum. The audience fell silent before everybody stood up and started clapping. The performance was a big success as the whole orchestra could see Henry. The music flowed perfectly. Henry had saved the day again. It was the day of the fourth and final event, where the Christmas lights were to be switched on at Buckingham Palace. Henry cleaned the royal box until it dazzled, ready for the famous pop star Rich Zinger to turn on the lights. "Hey," said Rich as he made his way onto the balcony. "Really cool to be here. My fans will be so excited to see me. You need to move out of the way now, little buddy," he said to Henry, pushing him out of sight. Just as Rich turned to wave to the crowd, disaster struck. Oh no! The power went off, and everywhere went black. Rich Zinger became frightened. "Help, I'm scared of the dark," he flapped. "Somebody turn on the lights. Somebody turn the lights on." "We have a main switch," cried Mr. Does-a-Lot, "but nobody will be able to find it in the dark." "I can help," said Henry. "A vacuum cleaner helping?" huffed Rich Zinger. "How on earth could a vacuum cleaner be of use? No way." "I know I'm just a vacuum cleaner," said Henry sadly, "but I would find the switch." Mr. Does-a-Lot turned to him. "Henry, if you can find the power switch quickly, you would save the day." "I will try my best," said Henry, making his way down to the power room. He thought of all the help he had been at the other events. This time Henry wasn't nervous at all. He loved the dark. In fact, most vacuum cleaners live in cupboards and love the dark. Then he spotted it. Do you see what he spotted? Was it that? Oh, there it is. Hidden in the corner of the dark, dark power room was the switch. Henry extended his nozzle and pushed it. He had done it. With the lights on, the palace looked magnificent. I'm sorry, I'm sniffing at you again. It's because I'm so cold in the car. Hey, little buddy, said Rich to Henry. I'm sorry for not believing you could help. You did a great job. Perhaps you could even help me to love the dark too. The whole palace partied into the night. Everybody was thoroughly enjoying the music and lights until a police officer came over to Henry looking very worried. Sir Henry, said the policewoman, we need your help. She does look worried. I wonder why. Oh, the whole of London, including the art gallery, had had a power cut, and their most precious painting had been stolen. Oh, no. The word had spread about Henry's helpfulness, and so the detective and policewoman knew exactly who to call. Another Henry adventure was to begin. Now, I'm sorry, kids, I've got to break it to you that that's the end. And there is no other Henry adventure. I looked and only 3 books were published in this series. So it ends as if we're about to have another one, but there isn't another one. Nonetheless, it was a really, really good book. And this was published, you can see, in 2017. So, I mean, it's 2022 now, and let me change the lighting a bit. It's 2022 now, and that's 5 years ago, and if they haven't published the one where Henry saves the day by being a detective by now, I just don't think they're going to. But, nonetheless, I really enjoyed Book 3 of the Henry Adventures. He did a lot in that book. And look at the back. George, Hetty, Henry, James, and Charles. Oh, that's the end of our Henry trilogy. A trilogy is a set of 3 books. So next, actually, I do have some more Henry and Hetty books that I'm going to start reading. I think there are 9 of those. So don't worry, there's lots more vacuum cleaner books to come. And I just wanted to say, in this book, at some point, Henry sounds really sad and he says, I know I'm just a vacuum cleaner. But nonetheless, he saved the day. And I want to say, he's not just a vacuum cleaner. Nobody is just an anything. Everybody is really valid and worthwhile and amazing in their own right. So he's not just a vacuum cleaner. You're not just a child, or whoever is watching this, please don't ever describe yourself as just an anything. You don't need to undermine yourself. You're awesome as you are. So I know that I'm just supposed to be reading books, but I just wanted to say that because it's such a shame when you hear people put themselves down, because, I don't know, I've never met anyone that's just an anything. I think everyone's pretty special and pretty amazing, and that includes everybody watching this video. So thank you very much for joining me, and hopefully I'll be able to read you another story and we'll get cracking with the Henry and Hetty books next time. Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate you watching. Bye!